We don't cut shit. We just go. It's been a long time coming that we came. You're welcome. I'm Raxiel Liz, and you're listening to We Alive and Living. I'm really excited about this episode. Let me start off by saying, because of you, the listeners, the supporters, the fans, everything, we reached a point. I received an email from our sponsors telling me that we reached a point that we can actually do video now. And I know I have some video on YouTube with the podcast video and stuff like that, but this time on the actual podcast. Like I received the phone call from our sponsors from Anchor and Spotify saying that, not the phone call, I'm sorry, the email saying that we qualify because we reached a certain audience, that we qualify for video footage on the actual podcast. So when you come to Spotify, whatever you listen to us on, you can actually either listen or you can watch it, or at the same time, we'll open up the door for a lot of different content, quality of content. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's been listening, been supporting us, and giving us feedback. We appreciate it. This episode, another reason why I'm excited about this episode, because this episode is pretty close in the sense of somebody came to me and asked me, somebody DM'd me and asked me, can I do a podcast on how I got certain auditions? One being how I got on HBO with David Makes Man, how did I book that gig? And I thought that was interesting because I was like, I never thought about that. So when I brought it back to my team, we came up with the concept of, we should talk about how some of the auditions took place and also talk about how mentally auditions can affect actors and people. You know, you want something so bad, you get told you're not good enough, or you get told you got it, then they change their mind, or they give you this role, then they switch it to that role, and then after audition, how do you deal with it mentally? It really does break you down. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna do a few episodes of how I got certain roles and the process, and a few episodes on how auditions affect actors mentally and how we go through that and how we deal with the negativity and sometimes being neglected and sometimes the positivity. You know, it's up and down. So I'm gonna go through all that. But on this episode, answering a request, we're gonna focus on how I landed the role of David Makes Man. And that's a pretty interesting one. I'll start from the beginning with this shit, you know. So, you know, like any other audition, any other gig, I received an audition. Audition comes through, and I get a lot of auditions based on how I look, due to the fact that they say I could play, a Hispanic guy. In some cases, they say I could play a mixed black guy. I've even got told I could play Arabic, all that, Indian, and all that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I get a pretty decent amount of auditions, which is a gift and a curse. And we'll go into why it's a gift and a curse on a different episode. But the audition for David Makes Man comes in. The crazy part is when it came in, I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't read it as David Makes Man. For some weird reason, I missed the entire title, David Makes Man. I saw, because on top, it was strange how they did it. They had the name of the company that was sending out the audition, and then the title and a couple other things. There's a lot of information when you get these auditions. So on the top of it, it said Heinz. So when I saw Heinz, I immediately thought, oh, this is a ketchup commercial. Instantly felt like it was a ketchup commercial. And then when I started reading the audition, it took place in a restaurant, and I was with my family, and I was trying to get the waitress attention and all this stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, this is a ketchup commercial. It makes sense. Oh, man. It's almost good that I thought that. Let me tell you why. So I'm trying to say this in order. All right, so I get the audition, and I remember this particular audition. Not that I don't like getting commercial auditions. Not that I don't like that. But I want to be in a movie, you know what I mean? Like an action star or something. Something crazy, you know what I mean? A gangster film or something. I don't know. I want that. Or, like a dope TV show that involves that, whatever the case is. I love all acts, or for all forms of acting. But if you ask me a role that I specifically want, I want something where I'm like, boom, 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 jumping through windows, running car, something crazy I can really put in that work. But so when I get commercials, I tend to procrastinate, which I shouldn't, because every opportunity is opportunity, which I have changed that since then. So by the time, when I saw a commercial, I was like, commercial, whatever, they're going to give you, whatever. But they pay well, don't get me wrong, but I don't really do this too much for the money. It is about the money too, but it's a passion. So anyway, I think I had, let's say, I received it like on a Thursday, and it was due like on Monday. And I remember Sunday night, I was going to start it. I didn't even look at the script yet. And I remember my boy Rico was coming over that day because we was going to record some music. So he came over, we recorded the music, and then when we finished, I said, yo, you think you can help me with this audition since you're here? And he was like, yeah, no doubt, let's get it. And Rico's a pretty good actor, you know, so I was like, yeah, cool. He been landing a lot of gigs, he get a lot of roles, he's been in a lot of projects. So I was like, who better than him to help me out, right? So we do the audition, and you know, it was simple. It was a couple of lines there. I can't really remember what it was, but it was me getting whoever saw the show saw it. You know, I had to get the attention of a waitress. But again, the whole entire time, I'm thinking this is a Heinz commercial. That my stupid ass, I even had Heinz ketchup in my audition, like on the table. Cause, you know, I was acting like I was sitting down. I think I actually used this same table to do it. So I have the Heinz ketchup and everything. I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm promoting Heinz, so they're gonna see I'm with the shit. You know what I mean? I eat ketchup all the time. My hot dog, hamburgers, whatever the case may be. You know, put the shit on my pancakes if y'all gonna give me the roll. So we doing the thing. We do the audition. We did it like 3 or 4 times. I want to say it could be 5. I remember we liked it the first time, but then I was doing different facial reactions and. The way I didn't really prep for that one, to be totally honest with you. It was like, again, I really was treating like a commercial. And again, that the commercials ain't worth it. I was in a state of mind at the time. I don't think like that anymore about the commercials. I take them all important. So I did the audition como like sin gana. Like sin gana in Spanish, like, you know, like, let's just knock this shit out and send it to them for them to get the fuck out of my face. And it wasn't like really like I didn't give a fuck about it. It was nothing like that. It was just, again, my passion lies in a certain thing that you can't just go to your agent as an actor and be like, look, you know, unless you that dude, you know, unless you get in them big roles and you killing it, you really can't go to your agent and be like, yo, I just want action and gangsta ass motherfucking shit. So don't tell me none of this bullshit. You can't do that. Not only that, why would you do that? Because you're missing out on the bread, right? So we do the audition, and out of the 4 or 5 takes, we picked 2. You know, they only wanted 1, but we picked 2. And in a way, me having that fuck it attitude kind of helped because I was very relaxed. So I wasn't overacting or underacting. I was very just like, yo, boom, boom, boom. I memorized the lines and I did it. So that's definitely a key factor on that. Just be relaxed when you're acting. You know, you're acting. So just act like what you normally act and just implement that into that role. Unless the role requires you to, you know, go above and beyond with some extra acting or some Leonardo DiCaprio shit. So we do the roll, boom, I send it in, I send 2 takes, I send the main one, then I put a second take for they could see it because I kind of did funny facial reactions in the second one. So we send it off. And when we sent it off, I completely forgot about it. Like I was just like, okay. So I'm at work one day and I'm hanging out talking, we're working, and I'm getting a lot of phone calls from numbers I don't know. And when I get phone calls from numbers I don't know, I never answer them. I'm always like, here go another hacker or a bill collector for a bill that I don't owe or some shit. So I'm like, all right. Then, you know, so I always let them go to voicemail. So I'm waiting for voicemail. No voicemails and shit. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I remember where I was at. We was in this building, in this warehouse working, and I couldn't get reception. I remember going in and saying, damn, I get a reception in here. So I was in there for like 4 hours. When I came out of that building, my phone was like cling, 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 cling. I had crazy messages, crazy text messages from Rico and this girl that worked in the agency at the time. I forget her name. And my agent as well. Like, hey, where you at? We trying to get in contact with you. Please call me. Rico's like, yo, your agent's telling you to call her. What's wrong with you? Where you at? So I'm like, oh my God. So I called my agent right away. I'm like, hey, what's going on? She was like, yo, you got the role. So I'm like, oh, word? Dope. What role? Because I did a few auditions at that time. And mind you, she's calling me like 3 weeks later, 2 to 3 weeks later, after I forgot entirely that we even did this audition. So I'm like, what role are you talking about? She's like, the David Makes Man role. So I was like, David Makes Man? She was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. Send me the info so I can know how I'm doing this. I'm taking a flight, whatever. She said, yeah, I'm going to send you your itinerary, all that stuff. I said, cool. So I get the email a few hours later. She had to call me to confirm that I wasn't busy and I could do the take. So when you get a role, even though you got it, they still want to know, you available and how long are you available and what's your window of work, how long you could be there, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, yeah, I'm available, let's go. So, I go home and I get the email and it's telling me I'm gonna leave like in 2 or 3 days to Florida. Do I want to drive? I want to fly. And I'm like, that motherfuckers is wild. You damn right I want to fly. Pay for that ticket. Put your boy on the plane. This is the first time I received a taste of, I guess you could call it, the Hollywood life. It was my first time experiencing it. So they put me in first class, which blew my mind. I was really impressed by that. I was like, wow, first class. Like I'm expecting just be, you could have put me in the back of the plane by the toilet. I would have been happy to be, all this was free. They put me on first class, I go in, get on the, oh, hold on, I didn't get to the airport yet. I woke up that morning, and a big black SUV outside parked in front of my house, clean, picked me up. Guy came out, knocked on my door, took my bags, escorted me in. He asked me what I wanted for breakfast. We drove to a place there and got some breakfast. I think we went to Waffle House because we was on the way to the airport, but it was all paid by the company. So I was like, word, y'all doing it like this for your boy? Mind you, the whole fucking time I'm thinking we're filming the Heinz commercial. So I'm thinking like, they really going hard for this ketchup. So I'm like, all right. The guy's cool. We drive. We take some pictures and stuff. I'm feeling myself at the time. So I get to the airport. I say bye to the guy. He was a real nice guy. Give me his card in case I ever needed his services again. I get on the plane. Boom, boom. I've never been on first class before until then. So I was like, boom, I walk in. Hey, what it do? Give me a glass of champagne, on the rocks. Hold the slush. I don't know. I was just saying stupid shit. Let me, pour, no splash. So I'm like, all right. I land in Orlando, Florida. And when I come off the plane, I never seen this before. I actually thought at one point this was fake. I saw the person holding a digital sign and it said Raxiel Liz on it. So I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, I'm Raxiel. He's like, oh, she's like, how you doing? But boom, we getting her. She had it wasn't a limo, but it was this long car. It looked like a van, but it was like longer than usual. The reason it looked like that because it came from Universal Studios. So from Universal Studios, they drove the actors from wherever they were at to the studio. So she took me to my hotel. She had food from set, shrimp, fish, chicken, baked potatoes, the whole nine. She just brought me a whole bunch of stuff from the actual movie set in case I was hungry when I landed. So I'm like, damn. Anyway, fast forward, I get to my hotel. I wasn't shooting that day. I was shooting the next day. But that day, she drove me around Universal Studios for free. We was in there before it opened. I saw how they be working things, the whole nine. So I went to the set to see my trailer after my hotel. And it was dope because I get there and I'm tripping like, yo, is that Oprah? I'm like, what the fuck? So I see her like, man, I'm tripping. But again, I'm thinking like, Oprah's just here because it's Universal Studios. So who knows what she could be doing here. And stuff like that. Then I find out later on that she's like a co-producer or a producer on it. Her and Michael B. Jordan. So I was like, what? Word for the ketchup? God dang, they going hard for this fucking ketchup. So I'm like, whoa, all right, cool. I say hi to her, shook her hand, a couple other people. So I went to my hotel room because I wasn't shooting that day. The next day when I come on set to actually shoot my scene and my trailer, whatever, as I'm getting ready, I'm looking out the window of my trailer and I see none other than Michael B. Jordan. So I'm like really blown away on what the fuck is happening right now. So I didn't get to say hello to him, but I see him and he looks at me like, you good? I'm like, I'm good. I just wave my hand. I didn't get to talk to him. He was just saying hi to people and he left. But it blew my fucking mind that this was happening. So I'm like, yo, I'm fucking bugging. Anyway, I'm in the trailer rehearsing my lines. I'm thinking like there's a lot of people on this set for this fucking ketchup commercial. I know I'm stupid. I'm stupid as fuck for thinking this long. So I'm thinking like David Makes Man is the name of the actual commercial, like that episode of the commercial, or just Heinz commercial, David Makes Man, some metaphor. They coming out with a David's ketchup. Maybe somebody famous named David that I just don't fucking know about. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't realize that David Makes Man was an actual fucking TV show on TV One until I actually walked onto the set and met, I hate that I'm not pronouncing his name. I think his name is like Adrian Scott, something like that. The guy that directed the Bobby Brown and the New Edition movie, one of those two, is that guy. So I was like, yo, it was good. So I'm thinking like, man, I recognize this guy. I'm like, didn't you direct the Bobby Brown? He's like, yeah, what's up? So we talking. I'm like, yo, dang, this ketchup commercial going hard. So he's like, this and that. He's talking to me and giving me direction. I'm talking to some of the main actors, and he said, this is the lead. He shows me the girl, a couple of other people, and I go, and I said it out loud. I said, man, they're going real hard for this TV commercial, right? So So the main actor goes, what TV commercial? And I was like, the one we filming. And she goes, oh, is this going to be a commercial within the show? Like they're going to actually take this piece out and use it in the show? So I was like, at that point was when I realized I'm looking like a stupid motherfucker right now. So I was like, no. So I flipped the whole thing because I didn't want to look stupid. I was like, no, there's a commercial being filmed in this spot as well after they shoot these scenes. So they're sharing the space back and forth. So they're going really hard for this space, this diner. She's like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. So I walked away like, oh, shit. What the fuck am I talking about right now? So I go to one of the extras that I got to know while I was there. You know, I treat extras real nice, man. I used to be an extra back in the days, so I know how extras get treated, man. They get shitted on sometimes. So I'm nice to them when I'm close to them. So I'm talking to this lady, and she was actually a chef on a reality show and all this stuff. She was real cool. So I started asking her, what is this? So she goes, what do you mean? So I explained to her what I was thinking, and she starts laughing, saying, wow, that's amazing. You know, like, no, it's not that. So she tells me what it really was. And David Makes Man is a fucking TV show coming out on TV One, and it's going to be put on HBO and the whole nine. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, I need a break for a second. I forgot something. So I went back to my trailer. And I went to my trailer and I called my wife and I'm telling her like, yo, this is dope. I'm telling her the deal and happened. And she was like, what? So I'm like, yeah, that explains the whole fucking picking me up in the SUV in first class. And she was like, wow, how did you not know? I'm like, it said fucking Heinz. But Heinz was the name of the company that handles the casting. Again, I'm a seasoned actor and I know the game, but sometimes if you guys are not actors and you've never seen the information, sometimes you receive the breakdown of what the gig is, the audition. Everybody does it different. Sometimes it's like straightforward. Sometimes they want this. Don't wear slippers. Make sure you're in a waterproof suit. They ask you for the most ridiculous fucking things sometimes that when you get, sometimes you didn't know what you're reading no more. You're just like, yo, I don't know what the fuck all this is. Where's the script? It becomes confusing at times. So that was my reason for all that. Now, you know, I read scripts and the dialogue. I read everything 50 fucking times to understand what's happening. So I'm like super excited now. And like I went back to my trailer and started rehearsing the lines that I already knew by heart, but I wanted to make sure, like, oh, I got it. Oh, no, now this is the shit. We in this motherfucker right now. So anyway, I go back to set. And I realized, like, now I understand where's all this attention coming from, and all the attentiveness they were giving me. Like, oh, you need help with this, you need that. We got you with this, we got shrimp, we got lobster. I'm realizing why there's so much food, why the ticket was first class, why I was picked up in the airport, why I had my own trailer that said Raxiel Liz. I'm realizing all of these things as it's happening. And I'm like, man, I get it now. I get what's happening here. Anyway, it was a blessing. It was dope. We do the show. And it was cool because I was supposed to be there only for 2 days. My scene wasn't huge, but I was supposed to be there for 2 days. So we didn't get to finish the scene in time. So they extended me for 2 more days, which is awesome as an actor because, you know, whatever amount of money they paying you, X amount of money, you get that daily. So hypothetically, if they tell you, I'm just shooting a small number here just for conversational factor. If they tell you, we're giving you $100, you know, a day, then if you're there for 2 days, they give you $200. You know, you do 5 days, every day they give you $100. So imagine how actors get paid. If they give a particular actor $5,000 a day, then it's $5,000 a day. So you'd be happy when they delay or prolong the process. Because you're getting paid the extra $5,000 or whatever it is you're getting paid. So I was like, hell yeah, I could stay. Let's go. They rebooked my ticket, did the whole night like it was nothing. We do the show. We shot the scenes. It was awesome. I wasn't nervous at all. The crazy part is once you get there, man, it's so surreal and so exciting that for me, the nervous part for me is the audition, to be totally honest with you. Because I want it so bad. That when I'm there, I don't get nervous because I have confidence in myself. And I say this to all actors. Don't be nervous when you get on set. Everybody's there to do the damn thing. from the actors to the director, the producers, the DPs, everybody, the people on the side, the extras. Everybody's there to do a specific thing. So when you go up there and you're doing your part, nobody's looking at you like, oh, this person gonna fuck it up. Look at this motherfucker here. Nobody's looking at you like that. Everybody knows that everybody's in each specific role for a reason. So everybody already knows your role. So nobody's looking at you like, oh, this is a rookie. They looking at you like, man, he the man. He got that role because he the man. So no matter what you do, as long as you do it how you did it on your audition or better, just don't do it worse or lower than your audition. Do it how you did it on your audition or better, you gravy. So there's nothing to be nervous about. I don't give a fuck how big the actor that I'm acting across from is. I'm like, yo, look, boom, wah. We just did it. Anyway, when it was done, I almost cried when I got back to my hotel room because I was like, man, God, what I would give is just keep the ball rolling. And I'm talking on the phone with my wife, like, yeah, we're going to keep this going. We're going to keep this going. And I didn't get another gig for a while after that. I got other gigs here and there, but I didn't get another gig for a while after that. The light started diminishing inside of me. Like, man, I can't believe it. Ain't nothing worse than getting a taste of Hollywood, a taste of the good life, how they treat you and how you could be making moves doing something you love. And then it's just like they forget about you until the next thing, until you book the next joint. And, the auditions, you don't, unless you got a big name and you're booking things consistently, they might start recognizing who you are. But I wasn't at that point yet. So I was real nervous and scared that this might not happen again. You know what I mean? Which it did. I'm happy and thankful it did. It happened a few more times. But back to the point, so we shot that and it was on TV1. I was excited when it came out. It was awesome. And then all of a sudden, after the show aired, it got renewed for season 2. And then after it got renewed for season 2, season 1 got put on HBO, which blew the show up even more. And more people started recognizing it. And that's how a lot of people saw the show. A lot of people saw it on TV1, but a lot of people that know me specifically and are close to me or my fans and my followers and everything like that, supporters, they saw it mostly on HBO and started blowing their minds. Like, yo, I saw you on HBO, this and this and this and that. So anyway, that's how that happened. That was the beginning to the end process of how I landed the role of David Makes Man. It's just some of it, a lot of this, how they say 80% skills, 20% luck, whatever the case may be. I forget how that phrase goes. And luckily, I didn't give up on myself. Granted, like I said from the beginning, I approached it very, it's fucking commercial. But I still did it. I'm not going to waste my agent's time, the people that try to book me time. I'm not going to waste their time. I still did it and still gave it 100%, and it came out the way it needed to come out. You know what I mean? And granted, I went in it with a different state of mind, not the most positive state of mind, but I still did the job. It's like working a regular job. Even if you don't want to be there and you had a tough night, whatever the case is, you can't wait. It's not nobody else's fault that you want to hang out, lay and do the damn thing and drink. You got to go in there and whip that job ass because when you don't do your part, it ricochets into other people. But look at, not only that, this was a blessing in disguise because I was under the impression that it was a TV commercial. And I thought that would have been bad. I would have been equally as happy to have landed that. It's just like I said, I want to be with the year and the guns and everything running around. But yeah, so that was pretty cool to tell you guys that story on how that happened. I might put some footage of the show while I was talking to see if Spotify and them allow me to put that on here. But yeah, I hope that was entertaining. I hope that was encouraging. I hope it was informative. And we'll be talking some more about topics like this. Let me know any other projects that I've been on that you've seen that you would like me to talk about next. Or I'll definitely be talking about how the auditions affect actors and stuff like that, mental stability and the whole nine. But yeah, again, I'm Raxiel Liz, and you're listening to We Alive and Living. And if you're watching this, I appreciate it. I'm going to try to make it look all cool with the names and everything, make it all pizzazz and all that bullshit. But yeah, Raxiel Liz, We Alive and Living. Make sure you get a copy of the Shut the Fuck Up and Love book. As you see here, it's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, the whole 9 yards, Walmart, wherever you want to pick it up at. Tell them, let me get that Shut the Fuck Up and Love. I need that. But yeah, again, DM me at Raxiel_Liz. Hit me up, talk to me, tell me what y'all want to see, what y'all want to hear. We'll talk some more. Love you guys. Peace.